What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko. Get this. Teofimo Lopez throws cold water on possible rematch against Vasyl Lomachenko. Quote, I'm not doing that. Of course, we know Teofimo Lopez upset Vasyl Lomachenko, and Lomachenko has done everything in his power to get the rival back into the ring. The two squared off, of course, in October of 2020, with 3 of the 4 major lightweight world titles on the line heading in. Lomachenko was considered the consensus, but pound for pound boxer and the best pound for pound boxer in the world, and was expected to deal with Lopez with ease. But after a slow start, Lopez grabbed a lead before winning a unanimous decision. Now, while Lomachenko's hoping to pick up another win, Lopez isn't impressed with his former rival facing his hand-me-downs. Quote, he's just trying to fight my leftovers, said Lopez during an interview with Sky Sports. He's trying to come back and redeem himself. Although Lopez doesn't seem all that impressed, Bob Arum, the promoter of Lomachenko, and Lopez Sr., was pleased with the Ukrainian stoppage over Nakatani, so much so, in fact, that Arum is planning to put them back in the ring against one another in the near future. He said, we'll figure it out, said Arum, following Lomachenko's win. I think a rematch between Loma and Teofimo on pay-per-view does a lot of business. Before a rematch between the two can take place, Lopez still has a business to attend to against Kambosos October 5th at the Hulu Theater in New York City's Madison Square Garden. Provide he wins, Arum would love nothing more than to begin engineering part 2, but while the longtime promoter is waiting for that opportunity, Lopez has rejected the idea and he'll ever face Lomachenko again. Quote, it's kind of cute how everyone thinks he's going to get me again, said Lopez. I'm moving forward. We're past that. Now we're looking at a bigger and better things like Josh Taylor. There's no rematch. Had I lost, they wouldn't never give me the opportunity at all. Why do I have to give it to them? I'm not doing that. That is the words of Teofimo Lopez. Let me counterpunch. I can still sense the bitterness from Teofimo. It makes sense. You know, I look at it, the way he's looking at it. I mean, it's a choice, okay? It's a decision that he made to not fight Lomachenko. And it is a good fight between him and Josh Taylor. I would love to see him move on to fight someone like Josh Taylor. However, let me counterpunch. If he's not going to fight the Taylors, if he's not going to fight the Haneys, if he's not going to fight the Garcias, there should be no reason he shouldn't take on the rematch, okay? He needs to understand where his grassroots are. Okay, it's a certain thing for you to become too puckered up, too much of the big head to make you think that you're something that you're not there yet. Yes, you beat Lomachenko, but then here's the thing. Can you do it again? Teofimo Lopez in this situation, he's at this point, he's like Tyson Fury when Tyson Fury fought Vladimir Klitschko, but without the drug habit, right? COVID, sure, the COVID matches. But without the drug habit, Jesus. So I think Teofimo Lopez, if he's going to move on and he's going to take a next step into fighting the newest and the best, I think he needs to do that, because if he doesn't, that means everything that he's saying now makes no sense. Okay, because you're not fighting Devin Haney. You call him an email champion. You're not fighting Ryan Garcia. Those fights are not happening. The Gary Russells, even I would love to see Gary Russell take on Teofimo. But if he wants to move to 140, okay, you got Tank up there with the WBA regular, and then Josh Taylor has the rest of the belts. If he wants to really, if he wants to convince everyone that he's going to fight Josh Taylor, fine. Fight the fighter that gave Josh Taylor the most problems, Regis Prograis. Fight him and then beat him. Because a lot of people don't want to fight that man. Reasonably so, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to fight him. You're not just going to come to 140 and get a fight with Josh Taylor, even though that would be a great fight. I just don't see him coming to 140 and just taking on someone that fresh. Okay, at 140, I think he would have to come up there and take on someone like Regis Prograis to show that he belongs at 140. Okay, because Tank, that you could forget about a Tank Teofimo fight. If you want to see those guys fight, okay, they sparred. That's the closest you're going to get to them guys fighting right now. All right, so I don't think that's the case. But as far as Lomachenko, I think the bitterness is still there. He has a point, like, hey, well, they wouldn't have gave me a shot, but then you have to remember, who were you before you beat Lomachenko, though? Counterpunch. You have to be humble enough to realize where you were in that situation. You fought your heart out to get there. You made your mouth write a check that your ass could cash, and you cashed out. Congratulations. But can you do it again? Okay, you don't want to be that guy that, hey, let me avoid a fight and have everyone thinking that you are avoiding a fight. Even your father, even your promoter, those guys want you to fight Lomachenko again because he did a better job than you did with Nakatani. If he does that with Comey, which was an explosive knockout of Comey, so it's kind of hard to top that, right? But, I mean, he's fighting who he can possibly fight, because if he had a choice, he would fight you. However, the flip side to that is Lomachenko, the arrogance of Lomachenko put him in this position. See, he had no business coming up against Teofimo Lopez without a rematch clause, knowing all the fighters, mandatory or not, all the big guys, all the big boys, all the cash cows, Canelos, the Joshuas, all these guys, they regardless of mandatories, they still have rematch clauses, okay? So that's something that he may need to consider in the future from fighting a guy, especially an undefeated, hungry guy like Teofimo, because Teofimo's just acting a dick, and he can. He can act any way he wants, but I know, knowing what we know now, his father already had to have a disagreement with his son, because his son had to tell his father, like, no, I won't do that, because Teofimo Lopez Sr. has already came out publicly and expressed, like, yo, Lomachenko looked good, let's do it again. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, that fight should happen for a lot of reasons. And I think if Teofimo Lopez is confident in beating him again, I would stop being that grudgeful and get in the ring with him and do it again and totally retire Lomachenko. See, here's the thing. Teofimo talks about retiring Devin Haney, a young fighter. I think the way to go is to retire the guy that nobody else could. That's legacy standards, because the only thing that he has to stand on is a Tyson Fury type performance with someone like Lomachenko, which in a lot of people still, hey, yeah, some people or most people think he won, okay? But he won not by he was just that much better. He won because he was busier. Okay, he didn't just run circles around him. He didn't go in there and knock him out like he said he was going to do. That was a fight when Lomachenko started hitting him. He got to hitting him, and he was landing. Okay, Teofimo didn't walk out of that fight like Manny Pacquiao did with Oscar De La Hoya. Let's be real, people. Okay, he came out of there with some bumps and some bruises. Okay, so I think maybe just a little bit, some of that a decision not to fight Lomachenko, let's be real, is because he knows, hey, that ain't a fight that I easily just defeated Lomachenko with. And you sure as hell didn't knock him down or knock him out. Okay, so, maybe some of that, besides the spitefulness, okay, and the bitterness towards Lomachenko and the way they treated him, it might be a little bit of that seeping in, that he may be a hard guy to fight. What if Lomachenko comes in faster? Well, Teofimo says, hey, if he comes in like he's supposed to and fights me, I'll knock him out early. Okay, fine, prove it. You know what I mean? So one thing to talk about something, but it's another thing to speak it, believe it, receive it. From the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. So if he can do that, let's see him do that. But hearing things like that, it makes me think that there may be some other reason why he's not fighting Lomachenko, and going against the advisory of his promoter and his father. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Teofimo Lopez throwing cold water on the idea of fighting Vasyl Lomachenko once again. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.